Chiefs Kingdom, ACU crew, welcome back. It's Saturday night tailgate for that ass. Tomorrow is the Bengals game, Steven.
It is.
Like, can you even be that excited? I'm scared to death that we decide to suck again, and we're just amongst the Bengals. The biggest idiots on the planet surround us.
Oh no, we suck again.
Oh my God, we can't do this.
Here's the crazy thing. Back when this game was set, the schedule was set, the NFL thought they really had like this.
Boy, they thought they had a barn burner, didn't they?
Yeah, they had this badass game for New Year's Eve, man.
You got two old women fighting each other in the Kroger parking lot.
And it's sad because it shouldn't be that way. It should just be an easy win for us, considering they don't even have Joe Burrow. And man, I don't know what's happening. But either way, we got to be positive, Michael.
Don't you figure it out? Don't you figure it out this week? If anything can't get you fired up to go rather than beating the Bengals and those big mouths, then nothing's gonna get it. We've said this week to week. How do you let people dog you? How did you everybody's laughing, and then now you get the Bengals and Jamar Chase's big mouth. Like, that dude's never gonna learn.
If that's not enough bulletin board material to make you go out and whoop some ass, Mike, then you're not ever gonna whoop some ass. Just never. And like that's the thing. Like we've been saying it week after week after week. Like, this has to be the week that they turn the corner. This has to be the week that they get it together because time's running out. Time has ran completely freaking out.
Hey, time ran out weeks ago, buddy. Let's get it together.
You have to win at least one of these two games to get into the playoffs at this point. If the Raiders were to win both, right? But it's like, I don't know, man. I thought it would be a much more exciting game. I guess it still is an exciting game in a different sense. It's just on the level that I thought it would be like a year ago. It's more of a do or die type thing for the Chiefs right now. This is almost a must-win game. Like
it feels like it.
It is must-win anymore. Like, do you really want to put what if the Raiders were to win out the last two and you drop this one to the Bengals? Do you really want to put it all on a Chargers game? Like, I know they don't have Herbert. I get that.
Doesn't it feel like a must-win game? It's must-win for my sanity. It's must-win for me to have to deal with Bengals fans every week.
Yep.
Dude, I can't.
Man. So
I can't with these guys.
You think Jamar Chase knew that L'Jarius Sneed was questionable, and that's why he decided to talk trash?
Probably.
You think so?
Then again, he's so ignorant, he would have done it anyway.
Well, you know what? I have something.
What's ever stopped that guy from talking trash?
We got a little guy named Trent McDuffie. Okay, so we don't. You know what? We don't even have to have Sneed.
What's up, Shahariat?
Nice.
Shahariat from Anchorage, Alaska. We can put Anchorage on the board.
Put Alaska on the board, baby.
All chiefed ups in Anchorage, Alaska. Do what?
We hit Hawaii already before, so
dude, we have not done the shout out fill the map game in a long time, and we've grown quite a while, quite a bit. So it's gonna be fun to do that. We'll bring that back out after the New Year. That's gonna be a New Year's resolution. We got to put that on the board. We got to fill it up.
We got to do
Shane, what's up, brother?
Yeah, it's good to see you guys. Brian Parrott, Chiefer. Oh, Pops was in the house earlier. He's probably done fell asleep by now. He's probably snoring in his chair. Just, he was waiting for the show.
There's a football game on tonight, right?
Dallas is playing the Lions. Yeah.
I seen the news today that the Lions get to host the first playoff game in the last 30 years. Crazy, Cynthia Freeland was crying about it.
I would cry too. I would cry too.
I'm actually pretty happy for Detroit,
Mike, Stephen James is in the house. Haven't seen this man
What's
in
up,
a little
Stephen
minute.
James? What's up, brother?
Good to see you, my man.
What's up, Clutch? How you doing, brother?
Brenda, KY, Cole Keller, Casey Fan, Dan, Lewis. Good to see all you guys. We're just going to hang out and talk about the game a little bit. Nothing like scripted or written down or anything like that. We're just going to talk about the game. I mean, kind of hard to dig in too far when you don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah. Okay, look, so here's some news today. They said Pacheco cleared.
Yeah, he's playing.
Has he? I mean, they got him doubtful. Is he seriously going to play? He's on the doubtful category.
Well, he's cleared to play.
Right.
They cleared him to play.
I don't remember who else, but look, Mecole Hardman. They pulled him like he's ready. He's still on the doubtful list.
Clyde was sick the other day. I wonder if he's better.
Clyde might be sick of carrying this offense, baby. And I don't even know how that did you think we was going to utter those words in 2023 that Clyde was carrying the offense for like a 10 play stretch?
Look, Pops didn't raise me this way, but I gotta say it. Clyde's tired of y'all's shit. Okay, he's tired of it. He's out there. He heard enough. He's been going off, bro. Hopefully,
Clyde lost his mind.
Well, if he's well, and Pacheco's, maybe not going to get a lot of snaps or anything, still nursing the shoulder. I'm not too worried as long as Clyde is playing at the level he's been playing at. Right.
Right.
I mean, It is what it is. Jarrett McKinnon, of course, on the IR now, so that's kind of lame. The rest of the team's on the IR as well.
Do you remember? Hey, I tweeted this on X. Do you remember when everybody at the beginning of the season was like, remember when we were talking about Kadarius Toney being injured, and everybody's like, as long as we get him back for the playoffs, man. As soon as we get him, that's all we need is for the playoffs. And now, if you tell any Chief fan that Kadarius Toney's healthy and he's going on the playoffs, they're like, oh God. Like how different a few months can make. Isn't it hilarious? Like how crazy, like it just flips like that.
Dude, 3.5 months ago, would you have thought this Chiefs team would be a complete wreck right now? It's crazy. Like I literally, like, it's common for me to say in the last few weeks when talking about Chiefs football to my friends or people at work or whoever I'm talking to, they'll be like, hey, what's up with Kansas City? I'm like, I don't know, man. They're broken. Like, I don't know. Like Mahomes is seeing ghosts out there because the receivers sucked so bad, and like
offensive line's
falling apart. And it's like, I don't really know. Like, it's just weird because we've not been in this predicament in years now.
Are you on the Nick Wright bandwagon? He come out. He said he's still not worried about this team because defense wins championships. I feel like Nick Wright is trying to blow some smoke just because he's the chief homer of the world. Like he's crowned chief homer of the world, right?
In the words of Andy Reid, listen.
He's
full of crap, bro. There's no way you can be a Chiefs fan,
scared a
legit Chiefs fan, and not be worried about this team. They've been awful.
He's scared a little bit. He has to be.
Yeah, everybody thought Brian Parrott was being negative Nancy all season, even before the season, and he's been spot on with how this team's played all year.
Yeah, I think Brian Parrott's called it since day one.
Brian Parrott, give us some good news about how the end of the season is going to be, please, since you've been Nostradamus so far.
Right.
Go ahead and throw that out there.
Last name Damas. What are we? Please tell us what we're doing tomorrow.
Jeffrey Damas.
We got some Bengals fans in the house. Trevor Scott, what's up, Trevor? He says, I'm a Bengals fan, but I respect the Chiefs.
What's up, Trevor? Yeah,
hey,
man. I mean, you got like as much as you can talk trash, and even hate the Bengals as a Chiefs fan. I mean, it's been the closest thing to an actual rivalry in the last 3 years of football. I mean, we're starting to get that back a little bit with the Broncos and the Raiders just because we suck so bad this year. Like we've allowed it to become a rivalry again.
Who would have thought that was coming? Even the Broncos.
But I mean, I'll tell you this right now. If Joe Burrow was not hurt, I would be absolutely freaking terrified of this game coming up.
If Joe Burrow was playing, hands down, we lose this game.
Yeah, dude, I would throw up.
There's nothing in my mind that tells me we would lose this game.
Man, because, I mean, the Bengals have been a thorn in our side for years now.
They match up well against us.
They always do, yeah. Man, I tell you what, I did not realize how good their defensive end had been this year. Hendrickson.
Trey Hendrickson, he's a beast.
Dude, I know he's a beast, but he's been going off. He's like 16.5 sacks. Dude's been going nuts.
I would say their defense, and I have no stats to back me up here. This is just a feeling. But I feel like their defense is down just a little bit for what they were last year, right? Like, I don't feel like it's as dynamic and crazy. And I think a lot of that's Jesse Bates.
Oh, Master Bates is going.
Master Bates.
I think he plays for those sucky Falcons.
Boy, you know money is where it's at if you decide to leave the Bengals and go to the Falcons.
Right.
Like, that guy ain't even trying to hide. He's trying to get paid. He ain't wanting to win another football game ever.
What about Tee Higgins? He didn't have anything bad to say about the Chiefs this time around. It's man, Arrowhead's an awesome place to be. It's got a college atmosphere. It gives you chills. He's hoping
Brett Veach throws in the bag.
Yeah, baby. He's keeping that in the mix, you know. Hey, he's like, I want to be on this team.
There's going to be a lot of disappointed Chiefs fans in the offseason if they think Tee Higgins is going to get a bag thrown at him by Brett Veach.
What kind of bag do you think Tee Higgins is going to garner this offseason? Like, realistically, you think it's going to be around the 23 million, 25 million mark?
Do you think it could be that high? Do you think Tee Higgins is the number one wide receiver in this league?
I do. I think he could be, yeah.
You think he's a number one?
Yeah, for sure. I think he's been in Jamar Chase's shadow quite a bit.
Like, is he a top 10 receiver? Is he a top 15 receiver?
I would say he's like middle of the pack. If you just like he's definitely top 15, probably. It'd be hard to say he wasn't, right?
You think?
Yeah, I mean, let's name 15 receivers better than Tee Higgins.
Oh.
It's tougher than you think.
Is it? No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
No way.
Man, what do you got? Let's just go.
You
Let's
got
just go
Sky
down the
Moore,
list. Let's do it.
Kadarius Toney.
No, for real
got
though.
the
Go
jokes,
down the
baby?
list. Let's just go down the list real quick. We got
Jamar
plenty of time.
Chase.
We got time. We got Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase has to be higher.
Tyreek Hill. You got
Tyreek
Tyreek Hill. You got
higher.
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
You got CD Lamb.
Okay.
We're missing obvious people. You got to help here.
Yeah, you got Devontae Adams.
I don't even know if I would go as far as putting Cooper Kupp up there anymore. Because he's too injury prone.
I think you have to, right?
We'll throw him up there just to say it, but I don't think you can come up with 14 better.
Diggs, I think's there.
Has he really been performing at that high of a level?
Yeah, I just think they've had a wild year. AJ Brown, I think you got put up there.
Yeah, AJ for sure. Would you rather have Tee Higgins at his age?
Do you put DK Metcalf up there over Tee Higgins?
If
you put DK, you're around number 8 and 9 now.
I feel like they're in like the same level of play.
Look,
maybe
Deebo
not.
Samuel's higher.
Do you think there's really 14 better?
Mike Evans is higher.
Mike Evans for sure.
I'd go so far to say I think Garrett Wilson might be more dynamic at this point. I could see Garrett Wilson in our offense being a beast.
Well, yeah. Okay.
I would say Tee Higgins is somewhere around that 15 mark. I'll give you that.
That's what I was saying. He's top 15 at least. I mean,
there's 32 teams in the NFL, so I guess that can make you a wide receiver one.
Yeah, for sure.
But
that's what I'm saying.
I think Veach is going to throw up money at Tee Higgins.
Man, in my opinion, I think they need to throw some money at a receiver and get somebody proven instead of stop drafting them because they suck at drafting them. Let's just be honest.
JT says Scary Terry. We forgot about Terry McLaurin.
Yeah. Well, I think, would you consider Scary Terry better or around the same? Probably around the same mark.
I feel like, they're just different kinds of receivers. I feel like
they're very different.
Tee Higgins is that guy that's going to kind of remind you like a T.O. or something. Like you just throw it up, he's going to make that catch.
That's what we need, baby.
But was Pat ever going to throw that football? He never does. I've noticed if receivers aren't 20 feet on each side wide open, Pat doesn't like to throw it.
He didn't used to be that way, and he got molded that way by having a bunch of turds around him, okay? We got to get him back.
Look, he got stank over the past few weeks. He got to get it together a little.
We got to get him back.
I didn't think we were going to take as much I thought we were going to take more heat than we did when we had the little film breakdown about how Mahomes was kind of
I think it helped
falling off a little.
Right after we did the film breakdown, Kurt Warner did a film breakdown saying the same things we did.
Boy, Kurt Warner picked out some of the plays we did and said the exact same thing.
Several other people that were right on the bandwagon. We just got really lucky. They come in right the day after us, and everybody's like, okay. Oh, the stupid guys on All Chiefed Up said it, and I didn't know. But now I start seeing these NFL quarterbacks say it. Yeah. Maybe they're right.
Yeah. Hey, I'm glad.
That's a good question by Scott Crosser right there. Cortland Sutton or Tee Higgins? You think they're around the same level, or do you think T's a little bit better?
I would put those two right side by side.
I think Cortland Sutton could be an absolute beast on a different offense.
Cortland Sutton got paid, didn't he? He had a big old
Did they pay him that much?
Cortland Sutton got a bag in Denver. Let me go look at the contract.
See,
Cortland Sutton
Scott
contract.
Gold. I can't say his name.
He signed a 4-year contract extension in 2021 for $61 million.
Dang, I didn't know that. He's saying that we were just stating the obvious when we talk about Patrick kind of slacking, but it's not even that he's slacking or anything. I feel like Patrick's putting in a lot of effort, but I feel like he's in his own head, and he's got to get out of his head, man. Yeah, got to.
His receivers have made him do this. The play calling has made him do this. The offensive line has made. There's several points, but at the end of the day, Pat's got to get it going.
You like Michael Pittman better than Tee Higgins?
Richie King, yes. Michael Pittman is the one wide receiver I would want.
You would take him over Higgins if they were same price? I don't know if I would, but they're right there together, right?
I think I'd probably take Pittman.
And they're similar.
Is Pittman okay after that hit, though? He got his world rocked the other day.
He cleared concussion protocol, and he practiced Thursday and Friday.
He ain't never going to lay out for another football, though, so he may be a little gun shy now.
Well, that's just part of it, man. It happens.
Would you would you rather us throw money at Tee Higgins, or would you rather us throw money at Mike Evans?
Man, I'll tell you what. It depends on what the money
Mike Evans is better as a wide receiver.
Well,
but he's older.
Sure. Exactly. He's 30. Tee Higgins is what, 24 years old?
Hey, make a poll question. Can you make a poll question? Tee Higgins or Mike Evans? Who people would prefer? I'm
at
curious.
The same price?
At the same price. We'll just say they both say, look, same price. Or actually, we'll say Mike Evans goes, we'll say $5 million less for Evans because of his
See, I don't think that's
Evans not going to knock down $5 million.
It's not going to be no.
So
I'd
yeah,
say
it's got to be same price.
yearly at the same yearly salary.
Right. Why don't you throw Gabe Davis on there too? Isn't he a free agent? I've heard a lot of that in the kingdom lately.
No, not a chance.
Gabe
not
Davis is
yeah,
he's obviously tier 3 in that situation. Does anybody? Somebody let me know in chat. Does anybody think Gabe Davis would be a better signing?
No, hell no.
Now I do know that you're going to have a lot of people saying, "Well, for the price, all we hear about is for the price." You think? Can we throw
Michael Pittman?
I love
in this
spending.
mix?
Yeah, I love spending Clark Hunt's money.
Yeah, me too.
Everybody else gets a little gun shy about it.
I don't know why Brett Veach is. I don't know why he don't like doing it. I mean, I do it all the time.
If somebody give me a couple million and say go buy yourself something nice, I'd do it. Especially by buying nice said thing. Do I look better at my job?
Yeah. Hey, before we keep going, we appreciate you guys being here for the Saturday night tailgate. It is the Chiefs versus the Bengals tomorrow. The Chiefs are, they're kind of at a crossroads now, so it should be a good game. Hit that like button if you haven't already. It just takes a second. Hit the poll. When you're answering the poll, just go hit the like button. Help us get out to more people. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so. We're just a couple of idiots talking about Chiefs having some fun. It's a good time in here. Hit that sub button. We're almost to 20K, Mike. We're almost there.
We're so close. We should get there. I think we're going to hit that one. We may
know what?
We may actually be monetized before we hit the 20K.
Can you believe that?
Hopefully.
Like we'll have to see. We'll see if YouTube's going to jerk us around some more, but we're going to find out soon.
Look, if you want to talk about jerk offs, that's a group right there.
Yeah, for sure.
They like to jerk it. That's for sure. After we talk so much trash about them, they'll probably never remonetize us. By the way.
Well, hey, they deserved it. Okay.
Hey, Mark.
What they did was dirty. What they did was dirty.
Yeah, I hear you. What's up, Mark? Mark says several of the shows on 610 from KC that I listen to almost daily were all going on about the same things this week. It's pretty easy to see if you watch some coaches tape. It is pretty easy to see. I mean, Pat struggled. Pat doesn't look good. But at the same time, there's a lot of people in the kingdom. Yeah, Pat's untouchable here. For a lot of people.
You can even throw shade at Andy Reid and you don't get that kind of reaction. But most of the time, Pat's untouchable by Chiefs Kingdom. With good reason, I get it. But at the same time, when he's holding a fair share of the responsibility of the suck-ass offense, then he's got to own up to it, and we got to talk about it. That's just all there is to it.
Yeah. The Chiefs, I'm answering a question here. Where'd it go? Red Royce, right here. What's up, Red? Good to see you. How much cap space? The Chiefs in 2024, off the top of my head, somewhere around the 50 million mark. And as soon as this loads, I'll read it.
You got a lot of players to re-sign, but you also are going to save at least probably 10 million on MBS.
Yahoo Sports, I don't know how credible. I mean, they're pretty credible, I guess. The good news, the Chiefs are estimated to have 51.66 million in cap space in 2024, according to overthecap.com, ranking them number 15 in the league out of 32 franchises. The bad news, the Chiefs have 24 of their 53 players on their active roster eligible for free agency. This is what Brett Veach does, Steve. He just signs these one-year deals.
Well, that's the thing about it. I think there's going to be a lot more Chiefs that are not Chiefs next year than you think.
Well, what about Shock? Shock says we got to save our money to keep L'Jarius.
They're not going to do that.
They can keep L'Jarius. Dude, how much L'Jarius going to take out of that $50 million?
L'Jarius has made himself a rich man this season.
Yeah, I think he's untouchable with the Chiefs now. It would be a miracle if Brett Veach could get him back in the Chiefs uniform, in my opinion.
It's either that or he's going to allocate way too much money to a corner position to do it. So, I mean, as much as I love L'Jarius Sneed and I'd love to see him here, he's playing at a ridiculous level right now. He's been great this year. I just don't see him paying a corner as much as he's going to garner because he's got himself paid for sure.
With our corner room, and then not to mention Najee Johnson coming back from the ACL. You've got the kid we just drafted in round 7 this year, Nick Jones. He ain't even played a snap this year, but he was killing it in the offseason. Dude, That's a lot of money to pay him when you've got the big dog Trent McDuffie ready to step up and be number one.
Well, here's my thing about it. I think if you're going to pay one defensive player a lot of money, it's got to be Chris Jones.
Got to be
over
Christopher
Sneed. And the reason I say that is,
I think a lot of people would fight you with that, though. A lot of people might
put
Sneed over it.
They might, but I think if you're logical, you have to have your defensive tackle there. He's the game wrecker. He's eating up double and triple teams. He's also a good reason why Sneed's been so successful because of pressure. I mean, you have to think, man, if these guys didn't get any pressure, these corners would be having to cover way longer. We all know Sneed's not the greatest cover corner in the world most of the time without grabbing or, something like that. So, I mean, I just, to me, Chris Jones is a way more valuable piece to this defense.
Right. Justin Jefferson, that's a name being thrown around. Look, the Vikings.
Too much.
Vikings, though, they have been known to give up on receivers at that big contract mark and
that's
move
fine,
on.
But good Lord, I mean, if you think Tee Higgins is going to cost too much, what do you or Mike Evans for that matter, what do you think Justin Jefferson's going to cost?
Yeah.
Because he's on his own level.
Well, they picked up his 5th-year option in April, and that put him at another $20 million. Good night. I don't know how much he's going to get. Here we go. I found an article from Sports Illustrated.
Back in JT real quick before you go
June. On. Okay, go ahead.
JT, I think we can lose our number one corner because we have a 1B, and I think that's the way Brett Veach is going to look at it.
A lot of people don't like McDuffie, as in they think he can be a top tier cover corner.
McDuffie's level of play at this point in his second season compared to L'Jarius Sneed in his 5th season now or 4th. I don't think there's that big of a gap. I'm just going to say that. Sneed has been absolutely awesome this year. He shut down all the number ones. He's done his job. But I think if you put Trent McDuffie in the same position, it would be similar results. That's just my opinion. I think Trent McDuffie's good enough.
This is what the Vikings. So inside the Vikings, I don't know who writes for them. That might be them. But they think that a 4-year, $125 million contract, making him the highest paid receiver in the league over Tyreek Hill, is what they're looking at.
Yeah,
that was all the way back in June.
That's my thing. We know what Brett Veach is willing to pay for a receiver by the Tyreek debacle. We know that he was willing to pay around that $24 million mark if he thought they were good enough, because he offered Tyreek somewhere around that and he didn't take it. So we know he'll pay someone that much money. So that's what I'm thinking, though. And my thing is like back to our poll, just so far, it's still open. If you haven't voted in the poll, make sure to do that real quick. Only 61 of you guys have voted so far, so make sure to get in there and hit that poll. 46% say Mike Evans, and I'm right there with them, Mike, and here's the reason why. I think after this season, you have to go with a proven. You have to go with a guy that you know is going to get the job done. And Mike Evans has been the most consistent receiver in the league for years now. So, I mean, I get that. Tee Higgins doubling up Michael Pittman is a little surprising to me. I feel like they're on the same levels. I'd be happy with either of those two. But I do think at this juncture, at just 30 years old, Mike Evans has probably got at least another 3 years left in him. I think if you could get him for somewhere around the same price, you got to go Evans.
You're probably right.
I mean, you can't, that's the thing. The other guys I feel like would be really good too, but I feel like we already wasted a year of Mahomes' prime if we don't luck out the Super Bowl this season. So why not go ahead?
A reason though? Yeah, isn't that a reason why you might need to just go out and pay somebody?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Even developing, like Rashee
this whole
Rice
drafting,
was
the whole
way ahead
drafting
of
thing's
schedule.
not working.
Yeah. What's up, Myron? Myron says, give me 4 facts. What should I do to train for linebacker?
Oof.
Are you a linebacker, Myron?
I was not a linebacker, man.
No, but I'm going to tell you what NFL scouts will look for in a linebacker. And I'm sure this goes down the list. First and foremost, you have to be a leader. You're the leader of the defense. That's number one. You got to be accountable.
Green dot, baby.
You got to be, you're that guy. And, number two, you need to be smart on film. You got to diagnose plays. You need to diagnose plays faster than the offense can diagnose it, and they know what it is. That's 2 things. You want to be loose in the hips. So you want to work on your speed, your short quickness. If people get on you, you got to get off the blocks. And I mean, that be a tackling machine. That's it. That's your 4.
For sure.
And that's a tough position.
I mean, I want to say, like, it's really hard to you can't coach athleticism. So when you get a guy like Willie Gay that can get sideline to sideline and stuff like that, that goes a long way. But if you're not, if you don't have that kind of God-given talent, exactly what Mike said. I mean, look at Nick Bolton, man. Like he's overcame a lot of stuff that people thought he couldn't do, and he's a beast.
Isn't linebacker probably you get asked the most to be a linebacker than any other position besides the quarterback? You're the quarterback of the D. Like, you've got to diagnose the plays. You got to put your guys in order. Half the time they got the green dot. They're calling it. They got to rush the passer in situations. They got to cover, and they're covering tight ends that sometimes nowadays are the best athletes on the field. And then you've got, slot receivers, and they got to drop back in zone, and they do everything. And they can't miss a tackle. You can't do it.
Yeah.
Go watch a lot of Ray Lewis film.
Yeah,
that's what I would recommend.
Travis says you guys answer some dumb questions. Well, damn it, Travis! Since you have the best questions ever out there, you better start asking them. We'll only answer yours.
What did we answer today? I think we've only answered 2. I'm sorry, Myron's linebacker question didn't hold up to your standards there.
From now on, you have to pass the test. What was his name again? I forgot. Travis. You have to pass the Travis test before your question can get through.
Good Lord, Travis. Everybody be sure to run them by Travis before you ask a question. Good
Mike,
God.
I'm going to go ahead and take this one. I don't know if Travis will approve, but Cole has a question here. He says, just going by his rookie season, what do you guys think Rashee Rice will come in terms of to stay in Kansas City, and will we be able to afford him? My guess is going to be, I think Rashee Rice is a really good receiver. I think he's got a really high ceiling. But I don't see, I could be wrong here, but I don't see Rashee Rice being one of those guys that we're talking about right now. I don't think in 4 years he's going to be someone that's coveted as a number 1 wide receiver. I don't. I mean, I could be wrong.
I think Rashee is borderline. He's a solid 2 option. Yeah. He's kind of like the Sammy Watkins type. But he's got a chance to be a number 1. He kind of is that Tee Higgins, He's a solid 2 and with a chance to be a number 1. He's kind of that guy. So I don't know. I mean, you would suspect his numbers and everything stay. His chemistry with Patrick stay during Patrick's prime. He's going to have gawky numbers, you would think. Right. So who knows? I mean, I'm not looking forward. You're going to have Rashee Rice for 3 more years after this, and they may get a nice little sneaky contract after year 3.
Omar says Keenan Allen and Mike Williams will be released for cap issues. Keenan Allen, I feel like he's kind of on that level of Mike Evans. I would rather have Mike Evans. I think he's better overall, but he's like a really injury-prone Mike Evans. You know what I'm saying? I think Keenan's probably a little older, right?
And if you want to talk injury-prone, Mike Williams is top on the list.
Exactly. That's the problem with these two. Like Keenan, as much as I hate him because he's a Charger and he's kind of annoying, the dude can ball. We all know that. He's smart. He's been around a while, but he's very injury prone. I'd rather have Mike Evans, honestly.
Dude, looking through the comments, Steve, I'm just now catching up with some comments.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are saying Chris Jones out. Snead, you keep him.
That's crazy.
I'm going to say this, guys.
I don't know about that.
I'm so glad you guys aren't running the team with Brett Veach. Because you don't look, there's a reason why corners, you can't really pay them like that because they don't affect a game like a Chris Jones does. Look at what the Chargers paid J.C. Jackson, and that cat didn't even play 5 games.
Well, here's a question for you. Who's the biggest name when you mention cornerback? Who's the first person that pops up all the time?
Like in the NFL?
Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey, probably.
Exactly, 100%. What's Jalen Ramsey?
He stinks.
What are they paying him?
Too much.
So now let's take a look at this. Who do you think has been more effective this year? Jalen Ramsey or L'Jarius Sneed, who is on a rookie contract?
Right. Sneed.
That's what I'm saying. That's our point. Like they're going to keep using guys on the rookie contracts and doing that thing.
Yeah.
Like we said, we've talked about this before. The last time the Chiefs paid a cornerback, it was Brandon Carr. Or no.
Yeah, maybe.
Flowers. It was Flowers.
Probably.
Or was it Carr?
They're all around the same era, but they all never worked out.
I'm having a meltdown. But either way, they signed him and they ended up cutting him a year later. I don't think they're going to pay a cornerback. I just don't think they'll do it. I mean,
with the way we drafted them in our depth,
look at what we did with Little Mooney. Lil Mooney. What was his name? I forgot his name. He plays for the 49ers now.
Yeah. God, I've lost. Yeah, I forgot.
Y'all know who I'm talking about. Same deal.
About.
When he first started with the Chiefs, why can't I think of his name? Somebody put it in the comments, please. Put Lil Mooney's name in the comments so I can regain my sanity. But yeah, when he first started with the Chiefs, everyone hated him. He stunk. Get him off the field. Charvarius Ford. That's it. Thank you, guys. Yeah, everybody. Charvarius Ford sucks. He stinks. Get him off the field. He's killing us. And then by the time that he was gone, it was, we got to keep this guy. He's a beast. He's the number one corner. And then the 49ers paid him out the butt. And that's exactly what's going on with Snead.
And he really hasn't been that great with the 49ers.
He's been pretty solid, bro. He's pretty solid.
Is he worth the money?
Is he worth the money? When you got people like Trent McDuffie on a rookie contract, no, I don't believe so.
Right. Snead's on a rookie contract. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Chris Jones is more vital to keep a core together.
For sure.
But at the same time, it depends on who you draft and if they hit, don't it? Like, look, if you had pick number 31.
Defensive tackles are very scary to draft as well. Think about this. This year, we thought there were two in there that could really do some damage. One was undersized.
What if you hit a Jalen Carter?
Well, I mean, that was a given. I mean, he's kind of like a unicorn sort of guy. But, I mean, outside of Jalen Carter, we talked about two guys, Mike. Two. One, a little undersized. And we had him on our show, Kalijah Cansey. He's been okay, but you ain't heard a whole lot about him. He's in Tampa Bay. I think he actually got hurt. And then Mozzie Smith, who ended up getting him Dallas. He ain't done a damn thing. He's not been good. Like, it's so hard to judge those guys. Chris Jones is a freak athlete. He's one of a kind. Mozzie hasn't done anything this year. Ask a Dallas fan. See what they say.
Oh, really? I don't watch a lot of Dallas football, so I couldn't tell you what he's doing.
We'll see what he's doing right now. I'm going to go to the game right now and see what Mozzie Smith's put up tonight.
See what he's doing. Probably better than our first-round draft pick.
Let me see. Let's see what Mozzie's done tonight. Just out of curiosity. Let me click on this game real quick. Box score. Can I do that? Player stats. Where you at, buddy? He's not even making the list.
Look, here's some free agents coming up. So here we go. What if you don't? I know it's okay. Look, so if you sign Snead, right, and you sign Chris Jones, how much money would you have to sign? Like, how much would you have to sign a wide receiver of that caliber? And then if you don't sign Jones, and you're like, well, we can sign somebody else. Here's a few free agents that are available. DJ Reader from Cincinnati. He's also the same age as Chris Jones.
He's be coming off an injury.
Grover Stewart from Indy. He's 30.
I'm
Fletcher
saying,
Cox,
dude.
Philadelphia. He's 33. Sheldon Rankins. He's 30 out of Houston.
There's a reason why these guys are getting paid a lot. Quentin Williams got paid a lot. Deron Payne got paid a lot. What's his name? Dexter. No, that's not his name. Is his name?
I'm talking about the kid from the Jets.
No, it's Quentin Williams. Who was it? Either way, these guys are getting paid quite a bit of money. And the reason why is because they're very, very valuable. Like, there's a reason why they overpaid the crap out of Aaron Donald in LA. I mean, when you get a guy like that, you don't let him go, man. Like, that's going to anchor your defense. Chris Jones makes the rest of the defensive line better. I mean, Mike Dana's had a hell of a year. George Karlaftis has had a hell of a year. Omenihu's been really good since he come in. Like, do you really think they'd be playing at that level without Chris Jones eating up double and triple teams every play?
Probably not.
Highly doubt it. Dexter Lawrence. That's it, Phil Keller. Appreciate that.
Not a lot of names out here on the defensive tackle category.
There's not.
Javon
That's why you got
Kinlaw.
You can't. And I
Christian
see
Wilkins, Miami.
Not calling you out, Lewis, but I just saw your comment. He said, yes, Jones did keep the Chiefs from signing D-Hop. I think that's a bad misconception. I think that you have to put that on Veach, because when you got a guy like Chris Jones, you need him anyway. I think a deal should have got struck. I think if you had to just bend a little bit more than you wanted to, you just needed to do it. Go ahead and extend him, and that would have opened up money short term to do something like signing D-Hop. I don't know. I feel like that's a weird take, in my opinion. I've seen that a lot, though. Very common. So I'm not calling you out, Lewis. Seen a lot of people say that.
I think people have a
I don't think that's it.
A kind of a misconception of what the contract would have looked like with Chris Jones and how that would have affected this year's team. Like, we don't really know what the short-term cap space would have been, but it would have been a lot better than us having to pay what we had to pay Chris Jones this year, which isn't it like 30? It's pretty close to 30.
It was, yeah, I think he wanted close to $30 million. I don't think it was 30, but he wanted close.
But I'm just trying to figure out what we had to pay him this year when they restructured that. They ended up giving him, what is his cap hit this year? His cap is 27. 26.8. Okay. So look, you would have probably knocked that down. And if you look back at his first contract, when he re-signed a few years ago, I want to say for the first 2 years of that contract, he didn't hardly make much off of it.
Right. Lewis says Chris Jones should have played on the contract he had already signed. Seen that a lot too. A lot of people have that opinion. I think that Chris Jones had to be smart there. If Chris Jones would have went down with a bad injury this year, it could be bad for him. He's at that age where he's got to sign one more really good contract because he's 30 years old. It's time for him to sign another good contract. So I think that was a smart decision by him. After seeing guys like Daron Payne and everybody getting paid like that and knowing that he was better than them, I kind of feel what.
But even after the holdout, he's essentially playing for the same contract.
Almost.
Not much change there.
Well, that's what tells me that he's the one that bent to come back and play.
Right.
Like, I feel like Brett Veach was being stern there. Brett would have let him sit, and we would have really stunk. It could have been different. But I saw another one I wanted to take. Give me 1 second. It was Gary Holland. Shout out Gary Holland. He says, Mike and Steve, can we get Jones on another 1 year deal? For the same reason I just said, I don't think so. I think Chris Jones wants to get paid, get one more good contract in. He's 30 years old. He's probably got about, good 3 or 4 years left in him.
Look, people are also, they forget that Chris Jones, by the way, he took a big contract. Look, so in 2020, he signed a 4-year, $80 million extension, right?
Yep.
But look, the very next offseason, Chris Jones come back to the table, and nobody talks about this. He come back to the table, and he converted his $20 million roster bonus into signing bonuses and gave the Chiefs $14 million in cap space.
Right, but he's so
that's what I'm trying to say.
Evil person,
He the very next year, he helped them free up another $13 million. So are you saying if you would have put him on a long-term deal and made him happy, he would have not come back to the table time and time again trying to help, just like Mahomes? And then Mahomes this year said,
he's burning them bridges, bro. He's burning them bridges. Those guys that have been doing those types of things to help the team out, Brett Veach has been doing absolutely dog crap with the money, and this is what we've got to. And that's the thing. Like, after you help the team out so many times, it's your turn. Chris Jones deserved to get paid.
Right. Tristan, what's up, man? He says, what do y'all think about Charles Omenihu so far? I think that's been one of his better signings. I would have been wary about signing him because of that 6-game suspension he had to serve. So I don't think they knew it was going to be. It was 6, right? Because we were talking about how it should have been like maybe appealed down to 4, and they didn't appeal it. So it was kind of weird. I would have been wary about signing him because of that, but we lost him for 6 games. But I guess he was healthy, and he's looked pretty good.
Pretty good since he's come in. So I kind of like that signing as well, Mike. I think we caught a guy, coming off of a career year and kind of got him, had a good time. So I do like that one. I think he's been pretty good.
I wonder how his contract shapes up to the point to where he signed a 3-year deal, right?
I don't remember.
I don't think it was a 1 year. No, it was a 2-year. They signed him for 2 years, 16. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, Brett Veach may cut him. He set it up with a potential out going into this offseason in which he'll only be $3 million in dead cap, and if they keep him, it's a $11 million cap hit.
That's a very telling thing with Brett Veach, and this is going to go along. This is going to go along with Brent here. Brent said, "Let's be honest. Brett Veach is the reason why there aren't many skilled position players that want to play for Mahomes because he's too stubborn about not paying guys." That is 100% true. I think Kansas City has that stigma. They thought, hey, people want to come here and win Super Bowls, but that has not really worked, right?
Look, he does pay people. He just don't pay the right ones.
Yeah, that's true.
He paid MVS. He paid Jawan Taylor.
But I think, like, Brent makes a point. There's not been a lot of people beating the doors down to come to Kansas City, even though we've won 2 of the last 4 Super Bowls.
It don't work anymore.
Yeah, it don't.
Look, the whole come here and win, it doesn't work. These kids don't want to come win. They want to get as much money as they can get.
To your point, it's you can kind of tell who Brett Veach is going to cut if you look at the contracts, because Brett Veach is known for backloading a contract and giving himself an out where he can cut a guy where it sounds like the contract's really great and it's this big number, but he's going to cut him right before a certain year and not be out anywhere near that. You can kind of look around and see that, and Charles Omenihu could be a casualty for sure.
Right, because if you do that, Charles Omenihu now goes from $16 million. You paid him $8.2 million this year, and then you pay 3.7 dead, and that was 1 year for 11. And if you keep him on the team, you got to pay him 11 more.
Right. Jeff says, F Chris Jones. We are Chiefs fans, not Jones BS. Well, that's the thing. As a Chiefs fan, I would like if the Chiefs showed a little bit of loyalty to guys that have shown loyalty to them, especially guys that are game wreckers, best in the business. Like, that's where you don't cheap out, and that's where you set a tone. Like Brent was just saying, people see this. It's not just us. Other players see how they're treated and things like that, and that's just definitely not what you
like. What do people think? Do they think that there's just like people knocking down the door to come in and take like a trash ass contract?
No, absolutely not.
Like, we're just gonna have a bunch of like mediocre nobody scrubs.
That's what we have.
If that's how that people want to run things, especially with a guy like Chris Jones, who, again, like we said, signed a decent contract. He probably could have got more than he got the first time, and he took it. And then he went right back to the table and give him $13 million in cap money back. And then he says, I want to retire here. And they thank him by not even coming up for a measly $2 million a year.
It's very, very hard for you to look at that subjectively.
Steve, that would have been $8 million total. To bring him up to the ungodly, stupid number of 29 or 30 million. Over 4 years, it would have only been $8 million by the end of that. You realize we're paying MVS $11 million this year.
Right,
what
exactly.
are people thinking? What are people thinking?
I don't know, man. I think y'all got to open your eyes a little bit. Take the Homer glasses
Clark's
off
money,
just a little
baby.
bit. Yeah, spend Clark's money, baby. It's what's there. Hey, well, let's move on just for a minute. We're 45 minutes into this thing. If you haven't hit that like button yet, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, do so. Mike, take the question.
I'm on board.
After we get this question, we're going to go on to some game predictions. What do we got? Can we get Veach to hire Mike to scout? Dude, I'm for real. Like, that's the sad part about it.
Sign me up, baby.
Mike's been pretty spot on. And I'll even pat myself on the back, because a few years ago, guess who I said that we needed, Mike? And everyone ignored me.
You said
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, you did say you were a big Amon-Ra guy. Who come out that year?
That was what, 3 seasons
That wasn't the
ago?
year we took Mecole Hardman, was it?
No, it was after that.
Did we take a receiver?
Amon-Ra was like 24-year-old guy, I think.
I want to find that draft. What year did Amon-Ra St. Brown
I actually had the Chiefs in my mock draft that year, taking him in late second, or maybe it was third. I don't remember. But yeah, Mike, you've been pretty spot on with receivers for real. But
I don't look. I'm going to give away my secret. Just watch their tape.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
And quit trying to make them do things that they don't do.
Quit pigeonholing everybody into trying to make them Tyreek Hill. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't look at.
I feel like that's where the Chiefs fell short.
Right. They didn't look at a guy like Puka Nacua because they said, well, I don't see a 5'11" Tyreek Hill there. Don't want him. Don't fit the mold.
I feel like that's where the Chiefs have fell short in their wide receiver department. Because
Mecole Hardman looked just like Tyreek Hill. Let's go ahead and trade up in the second round for that guy. We got to quit that.
The closest thing to Tyreek Hill in this last draft, and Pops called it, was a running back. And that was Devon Achane.
Oh, Devon Achane. Yeah, okay.
And where's he at?
Do you like Jahmyr Gibbs? By the way, do you like how everybody's now calling Jahmyr Gibbs Jamal Charles 2.0?
I don't know who said that like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I think if you guys love draft analysis, you got to follow us.
You got to be here. We're right.
Look, we'll say stuff, and then 6 months later, it'll happen.
Every once in a while, we'll lay an egg.
But you're right, Ray. I think I do need to be a Chiefs regional scout. Sign me up. Send me down to Mobile. Let me do some scouting. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm going to hit. I feel confident. I'm hitting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cole, it was Amon-Ra St. Brown was 2021.
2021.
Yeah.
I could have swore. I mean, I know we passed on Amon-Ra St. Brown. Everybody did probably like 3 or 4 times.
When did he go? 3rd round, 2nd round?
It's the 3rd or the 4th, wasn't it?
Look at that real quick.
I will. Amon-Ra. That was the year Trevor Lawrence went number 1.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, Amon-Ra St. Brown did not go. We took Creed Humphrey in round 2 and Nick Bolton.
Those are good picks, though.
Round 3, Amon-Ra, where you at, Big Daddy? He's not in round 3.
No, he did not go that late.
Yeah, he did.
Good grief,
dude. Yep. Round 4, pick 112, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Who did we take in round 3 that year? Did we have a round 3 pick, or did we trade
in
it
round 3? We took. Could we have taken Amon-Ra St. Brown? No. We had no round 3 pick. We probably traded it to the Dolphins, or I'm not for sure. That wasn't the Dolphins' year, was it? Man, I'm having such a tough time keeping up with life. It's going by so fast.
Hey, Ray says that you have Ray says you have a good memory, so I don't.
I try. Guess who we ended up taking in round? Can you remember who we drafted in round 5 that year, Steve?
Snead?
No, Snead was earlier.
Was he earlier? When was that? 21?
Yeah, that'd have been the year before.
Okay.
We drafted 2 players in this round. We drafted a tight end and a wide receiver.
Noah Gray
and Cornell Powell.
Oh,
Boy, Cornell Powell was a hit, wasn't he?
Oh, Cornell.
Oh, Cornell from hell, baby.
Hey.
Cornell.
Mike, let's move on to some game predictions. We'll talk about that for a little while with everybody. Be sure to throw your all's predictions in the chat. Love to see what you guys have to say. I'll go ahead and take the reins here, Mike. I'm going to grab the bull by the horns and go first.
Steve, if you put the Chiefs scoring 30 points again,
Mike, I was very skeptical. I was very skeptical of writing down what I wrote down.
Oh, my God, I'm scared.
And you're going to laugh because I gave it the most random score. I've got the Chiefs winning this one and going ahead and putting it to bed and just being able to get to the playoffs and, limp in. We're going to win this week, okay? We're not going to take the crap from – I got the Chiefs 18-14 over the Bengals. With the player of the game, baby, is going to be Harrison Butker.
18? We're just kicking field goals.
Harrison Butker. Mike, the only thing we can hope is that this trash offense gets into the field goal range, okay?
We're kicking 6 field goals?
No, maybe like
7. He misses a extra point. This is wild. No. Who's your player of the game?
Harrison Butker.
Oh, you. This is hilarious.
Also had Chris Jones written down as a player of the game as well with 2 sacks.
Did we ever think you'd get this point where we're putting Butker as the player of the game?
No. I mean, no. But after the last few weeks, someone fight me about it. I dare you.
Yeah.
The only thing that you can argue with me about is they might not get in field goal range. But hey, we're still going to win. Chiefs got this one. I got faith, baby.
I don't even want to predict. I don't want to predict it.
Mike, it's your turn. We're waiting.
I know. I just don't.
Everybody in the chat's predicting. I'll read some of them while you gather yourself. We got Kenneth Caldwell with a 28-17 Chiefs. Cole Keller with 27-24 Chiefs. Guesswork Studio. What we got? 23-16 Chiefs. KW 2017 Bengals. Brian Parrott right in the middle of it calls Cornell Powell Cornhole Powell. I like it. Cornhole Pole. Sorry.
Cornhole Pole.
All right. Lewis Cutbirth 20-14 Bengals. Matthew with a 21-17 Chiefs. Tristan with a 45-18 Chiefs. Tristan, I wish I had your freaking optimism.
Wait, what did he say?
45-18, baby.
Tristan's still living back in week 4 and 5. Where
Tristan, wake up, buddy, wake up.
Tristan, come on, come to the future, baby.
Jack Richards, my bad. 28-17. Mahomes has a good day. Bengals secondary is terrible. I do think that Mahomes could have a good day. He's got to get out of his own head. But obviously, I didn't bank on that. I lean more towards Butker kicking a lot of field goals, but it's there. If Mahomes can get out of his head, man. Stop seeing the ghost. Daniel Cole, 23-21 Chiefs. I might have skipped a few if I did. Sorry. But that's where we're at. Chief Kelsey, 27-17. The good guys. Brenda says 21-17 Chiefs. Brian Parrott says 24-13 Litterbox Kings. So, yeah, Mike, go ahead. Let's hear it.
God, I don't know, man.
Do it to it, Lars.
I cannot bring myself to say the Bengals will beat us.
Come on, Michael.
I can't do it. But the Chiefs
Don't be afraid.
stink.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
But I don't want to believe they stink. I want to believe they get it right and Mahomes bounces back. I'm going to say 21-20 Chiefs.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 21 points, baby. I'll take it.
I'll take that back. 17-16 Chiefs. No, look, here's the thing.
Mike, keep it where we're at. The Chiefs are averaging 21 points this year.
I'm just saying, 21-20. I still don't feel good about it. Dude, this offense, look, they've not given me any reason to feel good.
Well, what do you got for an MVP? What you got?
Justin Watson, I don't know.
Justin freaking Watson.
I'm going to say, I'll say Mahomes. If they get the win tomorrow, you're probably giving it to Mahomes. Mahomes got to bounce out of the funk. It's on him.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, he's just got to get out of his head, and I think this team plays totally different.
It really is.
I mean, he does need help. There's people around him that have not done their jobs all year and got him to this point. So I think it's regaining some trust. And the only way he's going to regain trust is if he gives them the chances. So Mahomes got to get out of his head and throw the football. End of story. And if the receivers screw it up, they screw it up. It is what it is. We all know that they're, underwhelming. So if that's the actual problem, then expose it and be done with it. And what can you do? What can you do?
I'm going to say the most controversial thing ever, and this may get me completely kicked out of the kingdom.
Okay, guys, just earmuffs. Don't listen to Mike right now.
Don't listen to me. This would be a prime time to turn it off. If Mahomes looks like he did last week through halftime, I'm benching him. He needs a wake-up call. Will they ever do it? No.
You know what? My earmuffs worked perfectly because I accidentally touched my AirPods and it just shut you completely off for a minute. It was great.
You didn't hear what I said then?
No, I heard it. They came back on its right time.
I think Mahomes needs a little bit of a wake-up call in a way.
Red Roy says, bye, Mike. See you later. Well, here's the thing. It's very I feel like that's a double-edged sword.
They're never going to do it because it would just look bad. You're not benching Brady in the middle of his career. You're not benching Aaron Rodgers.
But it's a double-edged sword, right? You sit Mahomes, Blaine Gabbert goes out there and scores like it's nothing, right? It either puts a fire in Mahomes' ass or it mentally damages him further because he's like, dang, I suck that bad?
I would tell you right now, I would come more having faith in beating the Bengals tomorrow if they told me that Blaine Gabbert was the starting quarterback. I never knew I would get to this day, but I feel like Mahomes is trying to nitpick so much, it's scary. And he's got to get out of his head.
I think he knows this. But
sometimes knowing it makes it worse.
Knowing it doesn't change things. That's what I'm saying. Like he's
Steve,
got to get out.
Look, when you're shanking on the golf course, when you're shanking on the golf course, if somebody tells you you're shanking and you're shanking more.
Mike, Patrick Mahomes is just like the Chiefs as a whole right now. They got to get out of their own damn way. Like they are killing themselves week in and week out. We know they're a good enough team to actually get out there and beat these teams like they should. It's just they got to get out of their way. They have to.
Would you consider if the Chiefs are down 20-10 going into the fourth quarter and our offense have put up 110 yards of offense and Mahomes is dinking and dunking and he's missing receivers, would you ever sit Mahomes in the fourth quarter and put in a backup quarterback?
I don't think you can.
Or do you feel like in the fourth quarter it's too late at that point? Like
I don't think
Gabbert don't have enough fire to get him back in a quarter.
Well, I'll tell you this. I don't think you can do it from a coaching standpoint for one reason. You don't have a playoff lock yet.
Right.
If we were a lock into the playoffs right now, 100%, like I would say sure. But if you put Blaine Gabbert in, you continue to get beat and you lose, and then you lose next week, you don't make the playoffs, and all of a sudden they're like, this idiot set Patrick freaking Mahomes, the best quarterback in the league, in a game that meant everything.
But the preface was Mahomes to this point through three quarters had 100 yards of offense.
Would that be the first time this year? Would that be the first time this year? No. I just think you can't do that.
When do you give him a wake-up call? Does he need a wake-up call? Is it
I
just
don't
everybody
think- I
else but
don't
Mahomes?
think- I feel like that kind of wake-up call is for a guy that has no self-awareness. I think Mahomes knows that he's in a funk.
Do you? I
Yes.
was reading reports this week that Mahomes is throwing games on purpose.
I've seen that.
That's
too.
how bad he looks.
Yeah, it does. It looks fake. Like if you watched them 14 points last week, they scored in 7 seconds. It looked fake. It was that bad. But that's the thing. When you can suck so bad that it looks fake, then you're doing a.
Ray asked the question. So when we win tomorrow, so we get the win, do you bench Mahomes for the last game, or do you say, well, you guys got to work on this, man?
I'd say you got to work on it.
I would say that too.
As bad as this team's been, I don't think you can give them any time
can't.
off.
Look, what happens if you sit Mahomes the final game and Blaine Gabbert comes out there and just puts up 50?
It's the one of two
Then
things.
watch
Like
your
the fire under
conundrum.
Mahomes, or it damages him further.
Then what's the conundrum?
And here's the thing, Jack, you make a great point. It's not just Mahomes. It's not. But he does have his piece of the pie. That's all we were saying. And I do think if Mahomes could get out of his own head and start giving these guys more chances, yeah, they're still going to drop a ball. Like Noah Gray dropped a touchdown last week, and he hadn't dropped the ball all year. Like, shit happens. Get over it.
No great
But
drop.
you got to keep firing. Yeah, or in the end zone.
Hit
Hit him right in the chest.
I didn't think Noah Gray dropped.
It hit him right in the chest. There was an arm up there from a defender, but the ball still hit him in the chest.
I seen Kelsey drop.
I do think that the main thing, and it sounds so basic, but I think the main thing is the offensive line has really got to step up, and they've got to make sure Mahomes has plenty of time. That way he's not, getting antsy. Because when Mahomes gets antsy, that's when we start seeing some weird things. So I think they've got to step up and do their job, especially with a guy like Hendrickson coming off the edge. You got to take care of business, and he'll probably be over there with Wanye. So, big game for those guys.
This is a big game for the Chiefs, by the way, because if you win, Chief Kelsey says if they get a win, he thinks they're set at the number 3 seed, regardless of what happens. And look, you can get if they win out and Miami loses out, you can get to a 2.
Well, here's the thing, man. The Bengals have to win out to get a chance to get into the playoffs. And they also know the Chiefs need to win one more game to lock a playoff spot. And if anybody wants to spoil the Chiefs, it's going to be the freaking Bengals.
Right. That's all they want to do.
They're going to be just as gung-ho as the Raiders were last week.
Look, can we talk about this for just a second, though? Because every single person has talked about how
everybody,
the Chiefs, it's okay that teams have bad years. The Chiefs haven't looked that bad. Hey, the Chiefs are 9-6.
Don't do it. You don't do it in the middle of a dynasty.
But
just don't.
The Chiefs are 9-6. Why is everybody complaining? I tweeted this the other day. There's only 3 divisions in all of football that we would be leading in with this, and one of them is the AFC West.
The Chiefs are very, very middle of the pack.
Right, and it's the AFC South and the NFC South. But even crazier than that stat was that it's pretty incredible. It's just pretty incredible. I don't even know. I can't even get into it. It's just one of those things that it's like I did not think that 9-6 would have the fan base fired up.
Well, here's the thing about it, and it goes back to, you've said it before, but you can't settle on mediocrity. You just cannot do it. I mean, the Patriots would have never had the run they had if every year they were like, oh, well, this is good enough. This is good enough. You can't. You have to maintain greatness. The Chiefs have put themselves in a position to be a great team, like overall one of the greatest teams, like dynasty type deal. If they go out and win another Super Bowl this year or one next year, they're in that dynasty talk, right? And you just can't settle at that point. Like you have to
think about this.
Having a winning mentality. You can't be a loser.
Look, the Jets, we beat the Jets, and it was a questionable call against Sauce Gardner without Aaron Rodgers. And that was one of the first times throughout the league. Remember, I called that game out, and I said, I'm scared about
Everybody yelled at you about it.
Everybody yelled. But you could sense something was weird. But think about it. Even with all that happening, do you realize we're only 3 games more winning than them? We've only got 3 more games won than the Jets, the lowly Jets. Dude, we have only won 2 more games than the Raiders and the trash Broncos. We've only won one more game than the Steelers and the Bengals, who's played without Joe Burrow for the entire season almost.
It's bad.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people's acting like this is fine for the Chiefs. But yeah, I remember them saying the Bengals suck. You know, Joe Burrow, you guys are trash, blah, blah, blah. And it's like they've only lost one more game than us, and they've not had their best quarterback the whole year. It's insanity
not just
to think about how down we are.
Probably the second best quarterback in the entire league behind Mahomes.
It's just crazy how down we are, but everybody's just so nonchalant. Like, oh, well, we got it figured out. What makes you think this?
Don't be a loser. Don't have a losing mentality. Don't do it. We accept only greatness. We have a high standard in KC now, and we
I want to have faith we turn it around, but I mean, dude, we give zero signs.
Don't be bummed out, Red Royce. Don't be bummed out. Mike's a little bit more negative, but I still got a little bit of positivity in me. But good Lord, they got to show us something, because right now everyone has every reason in the world to be negative on this team, because this team has been nothing but freaking negative all year. Like, even their body language, the way they've played, the effort that looks like it gets put forth. Like, not fixing obvious little basic things from week to week. It's like they don't care. It's very easy to be down on this team.
Look,
but Mike,
did you think?
But they can do it.
Did you have ever thought that in this week we would be 2 games behind the frickin' Cleveland Browns? And I would have told you Nick Chubb, by the way, was injured in like week 4. I would have told you they're playing with Joe frickin' Flacco, bro.
Right. It's a weird year. It's a weird year. The Chiefs have every chance to be just dominating. But here's the thing. Steve Cashman hit the nail on the head here. It's not that they've lost, it's how they've lost these games. They've literally handed games on silver platters to teams that are far inferior to them. And it's sick to watch. And they've done it over and over and over.
Are the teams far inferior, though? Or are the Chiefs just that bad and nobody's going to face reality?
Okay. Well, okay. Here's why I'm not going to agree with what you just said, because it don't make any sense. We basically have the same damn roster we had last year, Mike. Like, it's not that much different. So you're going to tell me that the team that won the Super Bowl last year was just so damn bad that the Raiders and the Broncos should be beating them? No, they're handing games away to inferior teams because they're playing like dog shit. That's what's happening.
But when you make the mistakes, you are who you are.
That's what I was saying. When they don't fix those mistakes week to week, it's hard to get down on them because they've got to get it together, dude. But like, I cannot say that this team don't have the talent on the team to be beating these scrubs, because they do. It's the same dang team we won a Super Bowl with last year.
Talent don't mean nothing. It's heart and it's effort. Do you remember, like, what about every year? It seems like every year we're sending like the our Olympic basketball team full of LeBron James and Kevin Durant, and they're getting walloped by Greece and Spain. And
I get what you're saying, but Richie knows we shouldn't be this bad. This team should not be this bad. Like, the roster is not that damn bad. The wide receivers stink, and we knew that, and we knew that was going to be a pain point going into the season because Brett Veach ignored it, and he ignored it at the trade deadline, and we knew it was going to be a pain point for the Chiefs, and now we're seeing it come to fruition. Everybody's acting surprised. I'm not surprised about that, but I mean, as far as the rest of the roster goes, our defense is excellent. The offense still has key pieces in there that are great. Mahomes, the best quarterback in the league. Travis Kelce, the best tight end to ever play football. Get it together, guys. The offensive line's not that bad. We've seen them have good games. They've had great games. But now they're not even top 10 in the league because they've just fell off a cliff. Like, it's time to get it together.
I feel like the league is just – this year you see it a lot of parity. And over the past few years, you've
Lewis,
seen the
how
Chiefs...
dare you remind me of this?
Oh, yeah.
That was the dumbest thing. That pissed me off more than not getting anybody.
Right. But over the last few years, you know, you've seen the Chiefs win these tight one-score games in like this weird fashion, you know? Like, you had the 13-second comeback by Mahomes. Like, in all regards, that game should have been over. Like, that was complete luck that Mahomes probably done that.
We've won a lot of close games in the last few years, and we're not winning those this year.
So I'm just saying, were we always that good, or is it always just that paper thin in the NFL? If you make the mistakes, you're going to get it.
Andy Reid says that after every game.
Right.
It's L's and it's W's. If you get the W, take it, because they're rare in the NFL. It's paper thin. It's any given Sunday. Everybody knows that. The Chiefs have found ways to win in the past few years. They're not finding ways this year. And why? They're not disciplined. That's plain and simple. They're killing themselves, you know?
It's weird to me that with all the talent we have, that we can't just go up there and just like wallop teams.
Sorry about that.
What are you doing?
I turned the game on. The Cowboys are up 7 with 1 minute and 41 seconds left, and Detroit is getting the ball as we speak. So, CFO Jared Goff can.
Does that game have any significance to anything?
No, I tell you what did was Dallas beating Miami last week, and they couldn't do it.
The one time I would ever want to cheer for Dallas, and they suck.
I know.
Which is like, I'm sitting here thinking, who wants to cheer for these guys? I cheer for them one time in their entire existence, and they suck. Could you imagine how exhausting it would be to cheer for them every week and be that disappointed?
Right. Cato in the house. What's up, Cato? Good to see you, buddy. He says if the next season starts like this, do we start calling for Veach's head? I do think that if Veach does not correct his glaringly obvious amateurish mistakes that he made this season or this offseason, if he does not correct those this coming offseason and we look the same disheveled mess that we have been this year, yes, it's time to start calling for his head. And that's not me being crazy. I think Brett Veach is one of the best GMs in football. But when you make a blunder like you did this year out of pure cockiness or whatever the hell it was, you've got to correct it. You have to correct it.
What is okay, I won't say what would you do in this situation, but I'm going to ask this. What is the first move that Brett Veach needs to make in the offseason to make it feel successful?
Range? I'm sorry. They're already in field goal range. How'd that happen? Never mind.
I don't know. Who
Probably
cares?
Sam Laporta. We should have drafted him too.
The first move he makes for it to be a successful offseason, and what's the first move he could do that would make it an unsuccessful offseason just to start?
The first thing that he has to do, whether it's the first move he makes or not, but he has to have it in his cards, right? Because there's so many moves this dude's got to make. He's got to sign back a lot of players. He's got to make a lot of decisions on a lot of players.
You got to have 24 signings.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's getting crazy. He picked a bad year for it to be a big pivotal year for him as a GM. He really should have took care of business this year. But either way, I think if he does not have signing a viable, proven, really, really freaking good target for Mahomes in his plans, that's going to be a fail. Like, you have to have that in that mix.
Look, if in the first...
Especially with Kelsey going to be 35 next year. What are we talking about?
In the first, let's see, free agency's in March. I don't really know when the contract actually hits and when you drop players and not to save cap, save dead money. That all depends. MVS has to go.
Oh, if
MVS is on this team next year,
that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. Like, he's got a foot and his penis out the door right now. He's more than 2/3 of the way there.
He's got a foot in his penis?
Yeah, I couldn't just say 1 foot because he's more than halfway gone. Like, MVS is done. So.
Oh, I thought you meant he's got a foot in his penis, like in the pee hole.
No. It's out the door as well with the right leg.
By the way,
whichever way it goes,
it's got to go. You know? Look, he's got to go. Well, what do you think? Okay. Is it a win or a loss? If I'm just going to name some things and you say win or loss.
I just made it up, Dean. I'm sorry.
Right. Steve's out here just spitting fire. Okay, so we can agree. Cutting MVS is a win. Keeping him's a loss for Brett Veach. Signing a wide receiver target is a win. Not signing one is a definite loss.
Absolutely. Signing
Chris Jones or letting Chris Jones walk.
That's a big one, and I think it's a big L if you let him walk.
L'Jarius Sneed.
That's a wash. Like, I'm good with either way. If you can make it work, by all means. If you can't, sorry, buddy. That's just the business. And he's going to want to get paid. And my thing is, it's not even being a cheese homer, just for L'Jarius Sneed's sake. Like, he's got to take the biggest contract he can get.
Can he win or lose the offseason with the draft?
No. Not at this point.
I don't think the draft's vital. I think
the draft's always vital.
Yeah. I get it, but
it's not going to hinge on what happens next season.
I don't think you can draft anybody because of where we pick. That's going to be so. I think
you have to be very careful not to take another Felix in the first round, though. You're going to need somebody. Like, I do feel like people are going to start getting mad if you don't start getting contributors in round 1.
Right.
And he did do that 2 years ago with 2 guys, Trent McDuffie and George Karlaftis. So it's not like he can't do that, but you can't whiff like he did this year.
Well, I mean, that's a deep position.
It is, but at the same time, it's just like people when that first round.
Could that be another reason why maybe they take the out on O'Menahue? Because now Felix can get some more playing time. He can develop better. because he's kind of just
It's
buried, man.
It's possible, yeah. And I don't know. We don't even really know what Felix can do because he's not got a whole lot of snaps.
No, he hasn't got much.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of curious, man. It's just a wild.
Dude, the Lions
thought.
already scored. I saw where Dean said Cowboys are so dumb. Okay, yeah. Brian Parrott says Liger's touchdown already. Good grief, man. That didn't take long. Richie King wants to know about Trey Smith. Could he be gone? I'll tell you what, Trey Smith's not doing himself. I have to click the wrong one. Trey Smith is not doing himself any favors right now. He looked like garbage last couple of weeks. He got worked.
3 players.
But we all know
3
Trey's
players,
good, right?
You tell me who you'd rather sign. Nick Bolton, L'Jarius Sneed, Trey Smith.
Nick Bolton.
Okay. So you're fine with just letting Sneed go?
Yes, and it's not because of anything. No shade to Sneed. I think Sneed has been
It's just because he needs
phenomenal.
to get his money, and if we spend
he's gonna get his money. He's gonna get his money. We're not gonna be able to pay him what someone else is gonna pay him. He went off this year, guys. Off the chain.
So who's more vital then? So leave Sneed out. Let's leave Sneed and Jones out. Who's more vital? Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, if you can only keep one. That's Creed all day long. Creed Humphrey or Nick Bolton, if you could only keep one.
I think you got to do both, but if I could only keep one, Nick Bolton. And I know people might throw stuff at me, but I feel like drafting centers. I feel like drafting center is probably a little easier than drafting linebacker.
A lot of people would say linebacker's easier to draft. I don't feel that.
I don't
feel that one.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I feel like we pick at a good spot in the first round every year that you could always get the best center in the draft. It's probably going to be pretty serviceable for 4 or 5 years.
That's what I'm saying.
But I don't think you mess with
and that's no shade.
Creed.
That's no shade to Creed either.
No, I think you got to sign Creed and Nick Bolton. I think those are high value.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think for what you would pay Sneed, you're going to miss out on one or both of them if you don't do it right.
I don't think you can pay Sneed. I just don't. As deep as we are at corner, I just don't think you can do it.
I think I would rather let Trey Smith walk, let Sneed walk, and sign Creed, Bolton, and Chris Jones, and then go get me a wide receiver target.
And the reason being, guard and corner, I feel like it's easier to draft.
Right. I think that's what I'd have to do. You got to let Sneed go, and you're going to have to let Trey Smith probably walk. Unless Smith, he may not garner enough money on the open market that we can't match it and pay it. Like, we're just saying if he garners way too much money.
I see where Scott,
we got so much to mark, or so
Scott's
much.
saying, what about Willie Gay? I don't think they pay Willie Gay if he wants a lot.
I think Willie Gay depends on his contract.
Same. Willie has turned it on this year. Yeah, for sure.
Look, our defense plays to a whole nother level when Willie Gay can step up and play.
Yeah,
but Willie Gay he's kind of been underwhelming. I don't think he's been exactly what they thought they were getting out of him. And he's got a little off the field issue, even though it was just against a Hoover vacuum.
It's just a vacuum, bro.
But they'll use that. Brett Veach will use that in contract talk. Why wouldn't he?
It's very hard to
yeah, what about Tranquil? You lock him up long term and let Willie walk.
Yeah, see, that's a possibility. I mean, Willie. And
you've
what Willie does that other guys can't do is sideline to sideline.
Yeah,
like
but
Willie's
look, you've
athletic.
also got Cam Jones. You've got you've got Jack Cochran. You have that cat we got from NC State that injured himself that I thought was a dark horse to make the team over Cam Jones, and then he hurt himself. I forget his name.
Do you mean to tell me the Lions went for 2 there?
Yeah, I think so.
And then didn't get it. Good grief almighty. Why would you do that? That's stupid. Dan Campbell for you. I think, look, I know everybody loves Dan Campbell, but I'm not sold.
Doesn't he kind of feel like he's just been a more lucky Brandon Staley?
Yes, I kind of get that vibe from Dan Campbell. He does dumb things.
He goes to the craziest stuff, and then his has just worked, whereas Staley's kind of stink.
Right. No, Dean, they did not get that 2-point conversion. There was a flag thrown. I don't know what it was for. I quit watching it. A Cowboys fan just sent a group text like that. We're in a group text, and he said, I don't even know what's going on in this game right now. Something crazy happened. I don't know what happened. Oh, they're getting another shot at the 2-point conversion.
Wait, Scott says Dan Campbell run another fake punt this game.
Dude, yeah, see, he is.
This guy just out here playing Madden.
Yeah, everybody talks about how great he is, and I just can't get on board yet.
He might be a good guy, good motivator.
They did not get it. They didn't get it. They made a weird play, didn't even throw to the goal line. And why did they go for 2 again? Why didn't they just kick the freaking extra point?
What did that do? Did it tie it up? Was the 2 going to win it, or what's up?
Yeah, it's 20-19, and they went for 2, didn't get it.
They
got
don't
a
care.
flag.
They've already locked up a 1 seed. They don't care. This is in the script. It's going to help Dallas. Guys, it's in the script. It helps Dallas. We know that. Look, that's why the NFL's throwing flags, baby. It's for Dallas.
I don't think this dude was going to get in the end zone regardless, but he totally Kadarius Toney'd it. Just dropped it.
They want. Look, the NFL can say all they want to about games and this and that, but you better believe they want Dallas to be right in the mix every year because that fan base is so delusional.
Well, they're so big too, dude. Dallas fans.
That's what I'm saying. It's a giant delusion.
Is probably, right?
Hey, the Dallas Cowboys fans is like a big dumb animal. You know what I mean? That's the best thing I can say. Like, what's the biggest, dumbest animal you can think of? I would say an elephant, but they're smart. Just a big old dumb animal.
What's a big dumb animal?
Just as soon as the season's over, they can get eliminated in the playoffs.
I was gonna say your mom, but that's my mom, so I can't do your mom.
They could be eliminated today from the playoffs, and in a week they'd say Dallas gonna win next year Super Bowl. They are so dumb.
Yeah,
they're special breed.
God love them. Hey, what did they say in the South, Mike?
God bless them.
Bless it.
Just love it and bless it. I don't know.
Bless it. That's awesome. Yeah, well, let's put a little bow on this thing for the night. Glad you guys could hang out with us and talk some football. Hopefully tomorrow's a good day for us. But just overall, yeah, I said 18-14 Chiefs, Mike 21-20 Chiefs. I think everybody knows it's not going to be a big blowout or anything like that.
If the Bengals win, Steve, I'm going to bring home some Skyline chili. We got to eat it on air. That's our punishment.
That's not much of a punishment because I actually like it. Don't yell at me.
You're about to get banned,
dude. I'm sorry, but Cincinnati chili is pretty good. It's not like nothing to be bragging about. It's not like
it's bragging. An acquired taste.
It's not like Kansas City barbecue. Like, you know, like, hey, Kansas City barbecue place is great. It's like that. It's not like that. It's not like that. It's different.
Hey, by the way.
It's like every once in a while, I'll eat it.
Yeah. Before we go, though, and before we talk about that, I just want to say thank you guys for watching and sticking with us. Hit that like button. But also check out the merch.allchiefedup.com. That's one of the ways to support us. We're only like 2 days away, maybe 3 days away. Like we can reapply for monetization on January the 1st. That's like what? Monday?
That's the day after tomorrow, buddy.
If the Chiefs win and then we get remonetized, we may have our own parade. I don't know if you guys want to be here, but we're going to have a parade somewhere in Kentucky.
Right. Yeah, and if you feel like supporting the channel up until YouTube gets their crap together.
And then hopefully we all get back our emojis.
Right and down there.
And I want to say this too, by the way. Check out FOCO. They're nice. They partners with us. And by the way, FOCO told us that we did such a good job promoting them and that you guys have done such a good job at clicking our links and going and checking out gear and buying stuff. They actually sent me a couple things in the mail today and they want me to give them away to you guys. Heck so yeah. How great's that going to be?
How that works? See how that works?
Dude, they're going to give away stuff. You may get free stuff, a Chiefs win over the Bengals, and remonetization all in the next week. This could be a glorious celebration we will have. And, Steve, I'll just bring you Cincinnati chili whether you want to eat it or not. I mean, you'll eat it win or lose, it looks like.
I haven't had Gold Star.
Gold Star's better, in my opinion.
Skyline?
Should I have a blind taste test? Should we do a blind taste test?
Yeah, bring both, and I'll do a blind taste test, and I'll tell you which one's better.
That's a good idea. I might have to bring them both in a can, though, so it's not going to be fresh.
It don't matter. I mean, it's not like we're not that.
It's Cincinnati chili. It's cinnamon and chili beans, bro. Whatever.
Yeah.
Let's just get a win tomorrow. Can we do that?
Please. Can we have a prayer?
Amy, thank you. Amy says just bought a T-shirt on the merch site. Amy,
let's go.
I want to display you. Everybody look at Amy. Everybody tell Amy she's beautiful. Tell Amy she's great. She's amazing.
Baby.
Chad says, are you guys in Ohio? No, we're about 2 hours from Cincinnati. We're right below Louisville, Kentucky.
Yep.
So, yeah, but I go to Lexington every day. And
they do have Skyline chili in Lexington, Kentucky.
They've got Skyline in Louisville.
In Louisville as well. There used to be one right up the road, and they closed it.
Yep. Yeah, I go to Lexington all the time. And the funny thing is, the Bengals are basically a Kentucky football team. Like, Ohio don't even claim the Bengals. They just like the Browns. So, yeah.
Well,
Amy, yeah.
You know, this year.
Shout out, man.
this year. The Browns. Oh, anyway, before we go, can we have a prayer? Can we do a prayer for the game
I don't
tomorrow?
want to do a prayer for the game tomorrow.
You guys want to? Y'all let me know in the chat. Brian
No, I
Parrott
don't
can
want to
lead
do a
it.
prayer.
Brian Parrott, lead it in the chat.
I feel like God's got bigger things to worry about than if the Chiefs win one tomorrow.
He does, but we're just.
We may be on the verge of World War
III
III out here, and this guy's, and we're worried about the Bengals.
Look,
Jeez
they
Louise.
ruined Christmas for everybody. I mean, at least let us have this. Let us have it.
Anetta, she gave 2 Married Chiefsmas hoodies for Christmas. They were a hit.
Heck yeah, baby.
Nice.
Awesome.
Anetta. Everybody tell Anetta how beautiful she is and how amazing.
Yeah. Appreciate
Dude,
that,
I'm
Annette.
telling
I'm
you.
glad they liked them. I love that thing. I didn't get myself one.
And Steve,
I'm gonna
check
have-
this out.
I'm gonna have
Brian
to.
Parrott got the hat, baby.
Hey,
He's
you finally
it.
got your hat?
Yeah, he did. I sent it to him.
Nice. Good job, Mike.
I
Sorry, I
also
was sick
threw-
for a month and I didn't get around to that, Brian. I'm sorry.
I also threw out some. Brian, did I send a Christmas card with that too, Brian? Did I not? If not, let me
Oh,
know.
no, where'd it go? Hey, Brian Parrott says, let us pray. I love it. Love it.
Pray on the Bengals.
Yes. Good job there, Brian. Cato, we have no memberships right now because YouTube decided to demonetize us for really random,
For
not
being fake.
good reasons.
We're not
Yeah.
real people.
Yeah, apparently we reuse these other 2 really handsome men's content all the time. But anyway, we're hopefully going to get that straight soon. Memberships can come back in, and then they'll be available hopefully shortly, man. Hopefully.
Yeah, I miss seeing the emojis. I miss seeing the slap nuts
I
emoji. I
know.
miss seeing the Do Brothers.
We haven't had a good slap nuts in a while.
I haven't even drank a Mountain Dew since we got demonetized because it just don't
Yeah.
feel right without
We're
cracking
fake
one open.
news, Red Royce. We're fake. We're AI. Me and Mike are not real people. You've
Yeah.
been fooled this whole time.
There's 2 other uglies.
We
out
were
here
created
talking
by
about the
Elon
Chiefs.
Musk.
Elon cloned.
Yeah.
Who
Well,
knows?
hey, that's going to do it for the night. I'm going to get some sleep. I decided not to do that yesterday, so it's really starting to catch up with me. But yeah, man, y'all have a good night. Thanks for joining us. Hit the like button on the way out if you haven't done it yet. If you have not subscribed, subscribe. We're so close to that 20K goal that we all set. Just slam my knee on the desk if you didn't see
I
that.
was going to say, you just got so excited.
Dang.
You got so horned up.
You ever
I
do
didn't
that?
know what
You
hit
just-
the desk.
You just hit your knee on a corner or something. It makes you
Oh, it
want
was
to
your
throw
knee.
up
Okay.
instantly. I got instantly
know
wanted
what
to
you-
puke. But no, thanks guys. Hit that like button on your way out. Sub if you haven't. We're going to hit our goal there. We're going to hit it. It's going to happen any day now. Put out some shorts. Go watch those. Hit that like button on those. Also, do us a favor. Get the link to this live and just put it in a good video comment section somewhere and let people know where to find some good Chiefs content. That'll go a long way, right? If all you guys did that, that'd be a lot of clicks. So
Steve,
appreciate all the help you guys have gave us so far growing this
should I
channel.
sing them out? A little Feliz Navidad today.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Christmas is almost done.
Feliz
I mean, it is done.
Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a soul.